Hi everyone. If you are a new business analyst, have you ever wondered what it would feel like to start your job as a business analyst? What would you actually do? What do you do when you come to work? How do you know what to do? What activities would you be engaged in? In this series of videos, I'm going to give you a few stories of a day in life of a business analyst, referring to my previous experience and just telling it to you in the form of a story. Let's start today on our day one with imagining that you just started your new job, you just figured everything out, and finally you are getting your first assignment. You met with your manager or with a project manager who will be working with you, and you've just been told that you will be starting business analysis for a new project. And what would you like to do, or what kind of support do you need? This is a time where you don't want to get stuck. It's not as scary as it sounds. If you feel like you're not sure where to start, let's break it down. First of all, when you're starting a new project, you need to have some background information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first ask as much as possible from the person who is meeting with me first. What is the project about? Is there any project documentation? Is there an executive summary? Was there some kind of feasibility study done? Is there a project deck? I really want to research the background information. So hopefully your project manager that you just met with is going to give you some details, the purpose, who are the sponsors, what is the high-level scope. Perhaps there was a little bit of work already done, and maybe there was even a bit of analysis that was done as part of preliminary feasibility study or benefit cost assessment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect all these links and information, and I'll try to read and absorb it. And that will probably take me the rest of the day, but I'm not just reading. I may be asking questions, I may be looking things, I may be making some notes to myself, perhaps creating a little mind map just to help me understand what is involved. And ideally, before I go and do this research, I would ask the project manager I was talking to, who do you think I should talk with next? Who do you think are the good people to give me more information? What would you advise? So I'm asking for advice about how can I collect more information. Perhaps I'll give a couple of names, such as project sponsor, previous business analyst that was involved a little bit, or a business expert that will be definitely part of the project. And here the question is, can I go and just talk to them, or do I have to wait for some kind of initiation or kickoff activity? So say I'm advised, okay, Yulia, you can go and talk to the project sponsor. She's very approachable. She's very happy that her project is finally getting off the ground. You can schedule a meeting with her, and the project manager says, I'd like to be involved in the first meeting. And that's normal. First of all, project manager needs to see how you are interacting, and perhaps they also want to hear the information, or maybe even a PM will arrange the meeting for you. Ideally, you have a little bit of time, maybe at least a couple of hours or maybe a day or two to prepare. So to read documentation that you already have, and that way you have a little bit more terminology in your head, maybe some notes, and maybe even a few questions that you have a little bit of a plan what you want to learn more about. So at the very minimum, if you're meeting with a sponsor, have a list of questions ready, terminology that you want to clarify, artifacts you found that you want to ask questions about, and definitely always ask where you can find more information. So what am I doing now is I've done a little bit of my prep work. I put down a list of open-ended questions. An open-ended question would be, can you please tell me a little bit more about the business problem? Or what is the business process involved? Or what are the different groups of stakeholders involved in this process? Was there any root cause analysis done? And can you tell me a little bit more about the different problems that contribute to this challenge? What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? So these types of questions. If you're ready to talk about business process, you can ask questions like, tell me when does this process start? What is the usual trigger? What are the typical steps? What may go wrong? who's involved, is there any customer interaction, how long does it usually take, what are the different variations, when is it successful. So just asking a bit more questions that help you understand business process. I will be probably taking my laptop with me, and I'll try to either make notes or maybe even create a quick diagram. If we are in a room with a whiteboard, I'll see if there is an opportunity for me to start to draw things on board. Sometimes we're just making notes and having conversations like that. So my first couple of days on the job typically would be about research, collecting information, and the first meetings. The other thing I meant to do is ask my project manager about the list of stakeholders and learn a little bit more about them. If I am new to the organization, it's always a good idea to look at the org chart, to get familiar with the names of the main of the executives, because maybe their names will be mentioned. It's always good to know who they are instead of asking. If you are meeting with a specific person, you know their name. Look at their position in the organization, who they work with, what are the departments they're managing, because it will make it easier for you to ask questions. In general, get familiar with the names of different departments and their functions. HR could be a good source of information, or company intranet, or even the company website. So trying to understand better the structure of organization always helps. Another area for you of research and of your own knowledge collection is better understanding products and services of the company. Say you are new to the company, maybe you aren't new to the industry, but you are new to this particular organization. What are the services they provide? What are their specific products? Are they similar or different from what you have experienced before? Maybe there are product descriptions, maybe there are service manuals. And again, whenever you research that, you always learn terminology as you go. What is very useful for me as an analyst, and I'll always try to ask, is there a knowledge base? Is there a glossary of terms? What are these general knowledge artifacts in the company that I should be taking advantage of? Perhaps there is a Confluence knowledge management site that I can just go through and look at the taxonomy and main topics and at least explore and see where I can find things. Maybe there is a glossary that previous business analysts created. I can look at that. Is there, for example, any glossary or list of terms or different information relevant to this project if I'm starting not at the very beginning, but some work has already been done? The other area I'll definitely look into is, what does business analysis team have in terms of their shared artifacts? If there is a business analysis team in an organization, if it's strong, it's probably reusing and sharing various artifacts. So that could be business rules, that could be business terms, glossaries, diagrams, it could be business architecture, business analysis diagrams. So I would also be exploring that knowledge base, hopefully to find something that gives me a better background of my project. So to summarize, my first day or my first couple of days as a business analyst in a new organization or in a new project will include a lot of research exploration, along with chatting with people, getting to know my teammates, asking other business analysts about where to learn more, where to find useful documentation, and trying to learn the background of the project. In the next video, we are going to tackle day 2.